Hello friends, happy Epiphany. What a journey it has been these last 2 weeks, hasn't it? As we've gone through the fruit of the Spirit, thinking about the gifts that God gives us. As we often get so busy thinking about the gifts that others give us and we give others, we've been thinking about that God gives us to give others. That's what the fruit of the Spirit is, if you really think about it. Things that God brings up in us that then we can show to others to show His love. As we think about the very last part of Galatians 5, Paul ends on a note calling us not to envy, and how appropriate that is as we think about not focusing on what others are giving us or doing for us, but on how God is working in us to help others. Proverbs 14:30 says, "A tranquil heart gives life to the flesh, but envy makes the bones rot." If we think about what God is doing in our lives, how can we envy others? How can we think, well, if only I had this or that, I'd be happy, when we know that God is the one giving us more than we can imagine by working in us? Instead, we're supposed to respond with the joy of wanting to give that out to others freely, without any kind of measure, without any kind of care on what we're receiving in return. How can we do that this year? As the wise men approached and came to the baby and gave Jesus these priceless gifts because they realized that He was an earth-changing ruler, so too may we be eager to give to others the gifts that He gives us. As we do, we give those gifts back to the one we worship. I hope this has been an encouragement to you these past 2 weeks. If there's been something that struck you, something that's really meant something especially important to you, please leave it in the comments so we can share in that together. And then please do join us tomorrow night at 5:30 p.m. at Little Hills. That's Sunday night. We have our normal Sunday worship service, but it's an Epiphany celebration, so please be there for that. And then we'll wrap everything up in a nice bow on Monday night as we look back on this journey. Have a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and I hope to see you tomorrow.